Hi team, it's Adriana. I hope you all are doing well. For today's topic, I really wanted to talk about PG and including parents into your sessions. This was a topic that was recommended by another BT, and she asked that I talk about it and share some strategies, share some tips with you all. So I actually have 5 tips for you today, so hopefully one of these will inspire you and really be helpful for you to implement with one of your clients. So definitely let me know how this goes. Let me know if this was helpful for you. So the first tip that I really like to talk about is really common sense. However, for some of us, myself included, it's really difficult to do sometimes. So that first tip is really just verbally and explicitly ask. Just ask the parent, ask them a question. When can you work with me during session today? Now, I would recommend that your language be very clear and almost direct. So you're not giving the opportunity for the parent to say no necessarily. They could still say no. They could still say, hey, you know what? Not today, maybe tomorrow. But I want you to first ask. Use words like, when can you work today? When can I borrow you? Certain phrasing, what time works for you? You know, I'm here between 3 and 5. Let me know what works best for you. And continue to follow up and kind of get the answer to your question. You can also ask the parent for help. You can say, hey, mom, dad, caregiver, grandma, I need your help. Could you help me run this goal? Or could you help me with this activity? I think that kind of comes from a different angle than asking them a question. You know, you're seeking help for yourself. So they could be more likely to help you and to give you a time frame as when they could do that. So definitely, I always tell people first ask. The next suggestion that I want to share with you all is to schedule a daily or even a weekly time where you always do PG. Sometimes our families work all day or they're not a part of every single session, so it's harder. So if you have a specific day, you know, every Tuesday at 3:30, that's when we run PG. That's when parent jumps in and we're able to work on all these goals and have this collaboration. That's awesome. And that's it. You know, sometimes having a weekly commitment is easier for a family to follow through with than a daily one. And that's okay. That's okay. We always really do want to meet our families and caregivers where they are. So try that. Try scheduling something for the week. My third suggestion or tip is to incorporate all PG during self-help routines or right after, right? So oftentimes our parents and caregivers are, number one, they're required to be a part of every single self-help routine, but they're also very willing. They're very willing, you know, it's snack time, they're in the kitchen, they're getting you the cup of water, the snack, the crackers, the cookies, or if it's time for toilet training, you know, here comes the parent and they're right there in the bathroom with you doing all the steps. So take advantage of these opportunities. All of these opportunities are parent participation, are PG. So definitely take your data, get them participating in each routine. And let's say that the washing hands routine is over and the parent is there with you and the client walking together. Just right then and there say, hey mom, hey dad, why don't we jump in really quick and read this book? Why don't we play with Play-Doh? Come join us. You're already here. Let's just do some Play-Doh together. And you have them with you, so you might encourage them right after that self-help routine to jump right into an activity. More than likely, that parent is just going to join in for the next the next activity, and then that's where you go in and coach the parent through different PG goals and kind of training opportunities. That was my third. Okay, so my next one, what if you also made parent time or caregiver time a part of the reinforcer? So you or a part of the break. And then during that sort of break, parent check-in time that the client is with their mom and dad, maybe that's the time where you go in there, and then you also, probe different skills or ask the parent for the child to do something. So maybe the example would be you're sitting at the table and you have your timer ready and you're just finishing up your different trials, and your timer goes off and the client goes on a break with mom. That was kind of the setup. So timer goes off, the client goes on break, then they go with the parent. So there they are having hugs, getting mom's attention, and maybe you go over and then during that opportunity you ask, hey mom, will you ask client to go pick up his shoes and put them somewhere, or ask them to take their piece of trash and put it in the garbage can? Ask them whatever your goal is, whatever your PG goal is. You might try and sneak it in during that break time with the parent. Maybe you don't take up the full break, but you definitely, ask the parent to work on a skill or target a different activity. And you don't have to be a part of it at all, except giving the parent that instruction. So you're kind of utilizing those breaks with the parent, very effectively, very efficiently. Let's see. My last suggestion would be to leave the parents a homework task. So let's say, parent fully intended to be a part of your session, but they didn't have time, time slipped away. Where did it go? So what you can do is, when you're wrapping up session, getting your signatures, you can suggest some parent homework. You say, oh, you know what? Since you didn't get the chance to join me in session, I'd like for you to do this activity. Once I leave, maybe right before they go to bed, you read a story to them for 5 minutes. And then tomorrow, let me know how it goes. I'll ask you and you can let me know if it went well, and we can talk about it. So you're kind of leaving the parent with a little to do, some homework for them to do, and it can be very informal, just like this, just like I described it. Or maybe you work with your CS or your BCBA, your supervisor, and you ask them to create something more formal. What if we had an actual parent worksheet where you wrote in what the task is, and the parent can write in what the outcome was, or if it's strictly data, play Play-Doh and run this item and take this data for us as a homework. So yeah, that's kind of, you could then follow up, and it's a different way. It's not parent participation necessarily during the session, but it is parent participation sort of after the fact. And we can, if they take notes or if they take data, we can use that data. That's very valuable. And it would still count towards their parent participation, usually. So yeah, those are my tips. Hopefully one of those things you haven't tried yet, or one of those things could fit or could work with your client families. Hopefully you can use some of these today or tomorrow. So definitely let me know how that goes. Let me know if you have also other ideas. If you're interested in different topics, I'd love to hear more from you, and just know how it's going in sessions. All right, guys, until the next one, I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.